What happens when you say yes before you really feel ready? When you step out of your comfort zone, not because you're brave, but because you're tired of holding yourself back. Month 6 of my reinvention journey has been a month that I did something I've always wanted to do, but was always scared and found a reason, an excuse not to do them. I took my first solo trip to Dublin, to Edinburgh, and yes, to Spain to walk part of the Camino de Madrid. And it changed me in ways I didn't expect. Welcome back to Reinventing Me at 60. I'm Roxanne, and I'm spending a full year discovering who I am now that I'm retired. Each month has been a theme, and everything builds on the last month. Month 1 was why I was reinventing myself. Month 2 was letting go of old roles and identities. Month 3, rediscovering my core values. Month 4 was living my truth. And month 5 was learning to dream again. And now here we are in month 6, trying new things. And instead of doing something small, I went big. I got on a plane with barely a plan, and I let the whole month unfold right in front of me. The whole thing started on a spur of the moment thing I can only describe as clarity. Not calm, not confident, just a sudden, sharp realization that I needed to shake up my life. I needed to go somewhere. I needed to stop waiting. I needed to just do it. I just needed to go. So I booked a flight without overthinking it for months like I usually do, or planning everything down to the second. My flight was 3 days out, so I quickly packed. I booked a hostel in Dublin. I didn't plan any other details. I didn't ask anyone to come with me. And honestly, I was a little nervous. Traveling solo for the first time at 61 was no small feat for me. I didn't have someone to share the stress with. I didn't have a backup. I didn't have a second set of eyes. It was just me. But I kept telling myself, if not now, when? Like so many things in life, there are challenges, and I expected that. My first challenge? Well, I wasn't afraid of flying. I was afraid of being alone with myself for so long and so far from home. What if I got lonely? What if something went wrong? What if I felt foolish? What if I got sick? But that courage isn't loud. Sometimes it's the quiet decision to walk through an airport even though your stomach is doing somersaults. When I landed in Dublin, it wasn't magical confidence, but I was proud of myself. I was in a new country all by myself. Dublin was like the warm-up for my solo travel. It taught me how to wander without rushing, to eat alone, and how to make decisions without thinking, does this work for everyone else? Then came challenge number 2, eating alone. That first meal, I think if I wasn't so hungry, I probably would have turned around and went back to my hostel. Everyone looked paired up or in groups. It felt like there was a flashing neon sign over my head saying, alone, alone. But once I sat down and looked around, I realized nobody cared. Nobody even noticed me. Everyone was so busy with their own life to pay any attention to me. After that, eating alone felt easier and more freeing. Yeah, a little awkward maybe, but also empowering. I walked miles. I took very few photos. I listened to street musicians. I had conversations with strangers that felt effortless and kind. Dublin healed something in me that I didn't even know needed healing. And then I was off to explore Madrid before doing something I have wanted to do for a long while. I decided to walk part of the Camino de Madrid. This wasn't my first Camino, but it was my first time doing it spontaneously and all alone. This trail was quieter, emptier, and more reflective. Some days I didn't see another pilgrim at all. That led me to challenge number 3, being alone with my thoughts. No distractions, no noise, no schedule, just me and the sound of my own footsteps. At first, it was loud, but then something beautiful happened. My mind slowed down and my anxiety softened, and I started to hear myself again. The Camino de Madrid stripped life down to its simplest form. Eat, walk, rest, repeat. I learned that I can do hard things. I don't need constant company. I can trust myself. I don't need to rush. And I learned that it's okay to ask for help. Sure, I got tired and I questioned myself, but I also felt deeply alive. The next stop was Edinburgh, the city that feels like stepping into a storybook, ancient, dramatic, moody, and magical all at once. And in Edinburgh, something shifted inside me yet again. Maybe it was walking those steep hills alone. Maybe it was navigating the buses all by myself. Maybe it was that moment that I stood on Calton Hill with the wind in my hair, realizing I am more capable than I give myself credit for. Navigating alone was my 4th challenge. There were times that I got lost. There were moments that I felt completely overwhelmed. There were times that I doubted myself. But every time I figured out something simple, finding the right bus or mapping out a route, I felt a little stronger. Edinburgh taught me that independence doesn't fade with age. It grows when you give it the chance. Coming home after all of this was strange. Everything looked the same, but I felt a little different. I felt more confident, more grounded, more connected to myself, more open to life. I was proud of myself. Travel didn't magically fix everything, but it did reveal parts of me that I had ignored for far too long. This leads me to challenge number 5, not losing the new me once I got home. So yeah, the biggest challenge wasn't the trip. It was actually coming home and trying not to slip back into the old habits. The Camino changed my pace. Edinburgh changed my courage. And Dublin changed my heart. Month 6 helped me see that reinvention isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering the woman I've always been before life got heavy with responsibilities and expectations. So here's what month 6 taught me. Number 1, that I am stronger than I think. Trying new things builds resilience, one small win at a time. Number 2, I don't need all the answers. I just need to be willing to take the next step. Number 3, being alone is powerful. It created space for me to hear my own voice. Number 4, growth happens at the edge of discomfort, not beyond it, not way past it, right at the edge. And number 5, New things bring new parts of myself to life. So what's next on my reinvention journey? Well, month 7 is where the reinvention journey shifts from exploration to creation. After all of these new experiences, it's time to ask, what do I want my ideal life to look like? What rhythms feel right for me now in my 60s? What do I want more of or less of? How do I design days that feel good to my soul? Month 7 is about creating a picture of my ideal life, not a fantasy, not a Pinterest board, a real, grounded, authentic version, a life I want to wake up to each day. If month 6 was about courage, month 7 will be about clarity for me. So, thanks for joining me on my journey. This has been probably the boldest month yet, and I am so grateful to be able to share it with you. I want to encourage you, give the video a like and tell me in the comments, what is the one thing that you want to try? Remember, you're never too old to begin again and try something new. And sometimes the most life-changing decisions start with a spontaneous yes. We'll see you on the next one.